Good morning, everybody. It's Christian from Serene Education with the 4 majors in this update for the 7th of November 2012. Hi, guys. Hope you had a fantastic training day yesterday. And after the news that Obama is now been re-elected for a second term as president, let's see what the outcome is likely to be. So, what happened yesterday? We had mixed feelings yesterday to start with. However, throughout the whole of yesterday, in fact, we did see price just ranging somewhat. However, this morning at 3 a.m., just after the Tokyo Open, we did see price or euro really rallying, but that's only potentially primarily because the news that filtered through that Obama had actually won a second term in office. I think everybody's quite happy that he's doing a second term. I don't think 4 years is enough to see any real change, but I think a lot of people out there, a lot of governments out there are quite happy that to see Obama do a second term. So what's it done though? You can see quite clearly we had two days of indecision leading up to today, and you can see this morning price really taking off. And the most important thing to remember here is the institution moving average had been for a while, for a number of months, a great support. Just recently we did see price moving or dropping below that area there after the non-farm payroll figures that we saw on Friday. However, with the news with Obama, we have seen euro growing a bit of strength this morning and trading above this prior major support and resistance level in the shape of the institution. However, this is a daily candle, and therefore we would need to see the end of day. So a lot can happen. We could have a knee-jerk reaction where price is moving higher to the start of today. However, come the US session, we could see price pulling all the way back again. It's quite possible. So therefore, if we're looking for a decisive candle, we would have to wait for this candle to form. Okay, it's very, very important that when you're trading, you do need to see, if you're looking for a confirmation candle, for that confirmation candle on that specific time frame to actually finish forming and to give you a clear decision before you actually trade it. So if I'm looking at the setup currently now with euro against US dollar, I want to see a decision candle. It's either going to be up or it's going to be down. It's just recently it's broken through a major support and resistance level. I want to see if this now is definitely a resistance level and a bearish engulfing candle. The other scenario would be to get a bullish engulfing candle, which would actually clear or get rid of this indecisiveness or this fake breakout here, and then we should be looking for topside again. So imperative, I'm going to leave this one alone for today and wait and be patient enough to see what actually happens, because you can see that we've fallen from the highs at 1500. We had a swing low just recently through Wednesday, Thursday, and there's a big drop for Friday last week. That's formed a low, and if price comes unstuck here again, where price is trading right now at the prior support and resistance level, here we go, this little consolidation area here prior to the breakout here at 12,900, you can see we have the 20, the 50, and the prior support here in above price. So this is going to be a nice resistance level here at that round number here at 12,900. So I'd like to see all this being cleared, particularly if this is still to remain bullish throughout the day. Then we could see the US session taking this and really moving higher. If it does so, then for the foreseeable future we should be looking for top side. If not, then we should be looking for price to revert to the downside. Notice histogram on our daily is still pointing or still blue, and which confirms that sentiment is still looking positive. So just be aware of that, guys. You can see on the 4-hour candle, the last 4-hour candle, you can see price really moving to the upside and engulfing or moving above that 1283, which happens to be my institution moving average on my daily. So I've got a clear area where I know where the institution is on my daily, possibly on my intraday time frames, which is so important because then you can see where price is doing above it. So as it stands now, as long as it maintains above this area 1283, then we should see price moving towards that 12,900, which I said is price support and resistance, and also that the intermediate downtrend, as you can quite clearly see, there's a downtrend here. So there's going to be a lot of resistance here at the upside of this, and you can quite clearly see that over the past, the end of the last 4 hours that we saw trading, you can see price pulled back. The start of this 4 hours not as bullish as the prior one. So as we head into this resistance area here, you can see quite clearly that price action is starting to slow down. That becomes more apparent on my hourly chart. There we go. There's that black line telling me that's my institution, my daily. So I've got to be aware of that. And I did say price would probably potentially move to a price support and resistance level in the shape of the 12,900 mark. And you quite clearly see that the 12,900 is where the institution moving average on my hourly is trading. Price is still below that, so it's still negative. Yes, the CTC has gone blue across the board of my hourly. However, I'm still not above 1290. Got to get above 1290 in order to see this as long-term positive. Otherwise, we've seen it before. Price becomes positive, but it's trading against market sentiment, against the trend, and price reverses to the downside. So it's imperative that we do get above this first hurdle here in the shape of 1290. Get above that, above the institution, and we'll start seeing this becoming more proliferant, or more blue above, and they'll tell us that's genuine sentiment to the upside, and then we'll trade it from there. Otherwise, you can see quite clearly that candles now getting very, very indecisive, a lot of wicks as we head into this 1290. So I'd be very, very cautious about taking any trades until further notice. Okay, sterling. Let's have a quick look at the weekly, which is very, very important. 1600 here, you can quite clearly see that 1600 on my weekly has been a major support area for this pair over a number of, past month in particular, through October. And going into November, we've started to see, you can see quite clearly the candle, this week's candle. You see a lot more action at the top end of this wick. And if that's the case, then we could see potential for price to build on 1600 again. And if she remains above 1600, then ultimately price is going to start looking for top side. Notice the histogram on either side of my weekly is still positive, and all my moving averages below price. So that's telling me that sterling at the moment now is still looking good against the US dollar, as long as it can maintain above 1600. My daily, there we go. You can see price action just recently. 2 days in particular have been trading below the 1600. However, after the news last night, so Obama winning this morning, apologies, you can see that price is now upside favorite. Everybody's happy with that call. That he's going to be doing a second term, which is fantastic news for everybody. Notice the histogram on either side is still blue. Yes, we've had a consolidation, but it's still positive, so we're looking at potentially just a consolidation here. It does need to remain above 1600, guys. Excuse me. And the longer it stays above 1600, then ultimately we could see price moving to its first target, being here at 1500, a prior resistance level. You can quite clearly see just recently near term price has been consolidating between these 2 points, and 1500 has been a genuine resistance area. Get above that, then we should be seeing price reverting back up towards that all magic prior high here at 16300, which we've seen price playing with just recently on 2 consecutive occasions, back in April of this year, and yet again in September, coming unstuck. So as long as it maintains those 1600, we should see price reverting or making reattempts at 16500 first, and then 16300 second. So let's keep an eye on that. There's my 1600 again. The price is trading above. Notice the histogram on our side is still red. The institution moving average is well above price. Notice how volatile the past week in particular has been for this particular pair. Moving between 2 points. Okay, you can trade this intraday, but it is very, very volatile. Just be assured of where price is in relation to that major support and resistance level. As long as it maintains above 1600, then we could see potential for price to revert back up towards 1500, as I mentioned. Get above that. This is our clear first resistance area. Get above that, then we should be seeing price heading towards that 16300 long term. Onto the US dollar Swiss franc. Tight consolidated range over the past 2 months. Going into a third month now. However, you can see near term price has actually broken the upside of this consolidated range. Great news for the US dollar, and you can see clearly yesterday during the elections, price pretty much standing at attention, very indecisive, but at the upside of this major support and resistance level here in the shape of the 940. You can see the institution moving average here above, acting as resistance. Now you can see price pulling back. Now it needs to find support now at 940. Find support at 940, we're going to see price reverting to the upside now. You can see that the histogram is starting to go blue. This candle still has to close, guys. It's imperative that now price stays above 940, builds on 940. If we can build on 940, then we could see price reverting to the upside. First target being 950, second target 960, third target just below the 970, and fourth target above the 980. Fib retracements, taking the high that we've had in July to the low that we currently have in October, and the 23.6 is the 940 resistance. Get above that, then we should be targeting 950, 960, 970, 980. Clear targets to the upside as price now builds. Swing highs, so it's imperative that price remains above 940. Get a close on the daily and a nice bullish engulfing candle on above the 940 mark, give you a nice entry, and then for the foreseeable future, look for those highs clearly above us. On to the last pair of the day, the US dollar Japanese yen. Here again, Also very important, just near term, we've seen price actually breaking and trading higher than the 80, which happened to be a major support and resistance level over a number of months. It's very, very important that price actually remains above here. You can see the 2 past days before today in particular that we had consolidation above the 80. All the moving averages below price, and most importantly, the histogram on our side is still showing that there's positive sentiments in this, and you can see the trend near term, or the intermediate trend, has been very positive indeed. We come from lows here in October, right through swing high, recently finding support above the institution moving average, kicking on above the 80, which happened to be a major support and resistance level. Now it's consolidated at the upside of that. It needs to now form support on here. It needs a nice bullish engulfing candle, nice hammer. Just confirm that it's happy now above 80, and then it'll build on that. And if you can see price building on that, then we should be heading up to some other highs around here. It's consolidating at the moment at a consolidation high at 80.50. Quite clearly, we've had price stalling on that. Get above that, then we should be heading towards the first protocol here, just above the 81.50 mark, before we see the next one being the 8300 mark as our second target, etc. But we'll be working our way all the way up towards the 8400, which happens to be that major support and resistance level that we saw a number of months ago. So it's imperative that the US dollar stays above the 80 mark for starters. As long as it trades above 80, then we should be seeing price reverting or maintaining that momentum to the upside. So look for a nice break and close higher than the 50 or the 80.50 going into the US session today. Will give you a clear example that we're looking for positiveness. As long as we get that, then we should be looking for price to move for the foreseeable future to the upside. For our chart, you can see I've plotted my 80 on my charts, horizontal line, to confirm where price needs to stay above. You can see the last 4 hours in particular, a nice hammer. You can see price trading all the way through it during this course of this morning, however, closing higher. Now the candle that's in play now, the next 4 hour candle is going to close at 9 a.m. GMT this morning, is in play, is looking engulfing at the moment. As long as it stays above 80, you can see I've also taken a fib retracement area from the low that we had just currently to the current high that we've had on our intraday, and you can see the 23.6 fib retracement area here being plotted just below the 80 mark. So as long as it can maintain above this area here, then we should see price reverting to the upside towards the current high that we've had intraday here at 80.70 would be a nice target. The other outlook would be get below 80 again, then we should be targeting 38.2, which happens to be our prior consolidated range here at 79.50, etc. Next one will be 50 towards the institution moving average, then 61, then 78.8, and then back down to 0. So imperative price remain above 80, guys, long term, to see price moving higher. Failure to do so, you can see if I do my 4 hour and I draw an intermediate trend line on my 4 hour, you can quite clearly see they've had a lower swing here, an evening star formation just recently. The price reverted. It does need to get above this area here, guys, so be patient. Get a nice break up and close higher than this prior consolidation here on our 4 hour at 80.40. It'll give us a bit of a breathing space towards those current highs. Get above that, then we should be in open space. Failure to do so, when we get a close below the 80, then we should be looking for negativity back towards the trend line, back towards this price support and resistance level, back towards the 38.2 on our 4 hour chart. That's it for today, guys. I hope you have a fantastic trading day. Please, if you are following the rules of the strategy, to back it up with sound management and follow the rules that guide the CTC. There are 4 rules. Apply them. Back it up with sound support and resistance levels. Be aware of what's happening around you, and you'll find that you won't be making as many mistakes. That's the beauty of trading. That's what we want to do as traders. We want to try and minimize our risk and maximize our profits. Okay, so we need to be following rules, guidelines, trading very mechanically, taking a lot of that psychological emotion out of trading. And the CTC is a great template to do that, because you're having to follow steps and you have to tick boxes. There are 4 boxes you need to tick in order to see genuine price action movement. Once you get it, pull the trigger, back it up with some money management, and then you'll find that you'll be on a winning way. Okay, so have a fantastic trading day, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning. Until then, trade serenely.